Alright, guys. So today, I'm doing underperformed or performed challenge. Yankees edition. Now, with that being said, we're going to hop right into it. First, we're going to have our gut reaction, right? Our gut reaction. This is what we think off of our gut, and then we'll pull out the stats and see for ourselves. So, catcher, Kyle Higashioka. I'm going underperformed by a heavy margin. And Jose Trevino, I am going performed, He's been so good behind the plate. His offense in the beginning was good, kind of died down like we thought it would. But yeah, that's for catcher. First base, Anthony Rizzo. He performed big time. Overperformed from what we thought he could do. Does that stick? I'm not too sure. To be honest, I'm not too sure about that. I'm not too sure if it does. But he's on a great start. And I appreciate that from Anthony Rizzo. So he's performed. And I don't even got to look at the stat sheet. Everyone should know that he has. Now, second base, there's going to be two players that I'm going to name at second base. That's DJ LeMahieu first. DJ LeMahieu has performed. I feel like he's performed pretty well with the Yankees this season, kind of returning close to his form to where he was in 2019. Not 2020, obviously. 2020 was a cheat code. He's not there. But, yeah. In Kleber Torres. This can be, I don't know, a controversial one. Lately, he's been playing well. But overall, I'm going to say a tad bit underperformed from what I would have liked him to do in the beginning of the season and my expectations. Shortstop, Isaiah Kiner Falefa. I mean, I think it's a consensus overperformed or performed in this one. I mean, IKF hasn't let us down. He had a bad start first couple games, but that's why you never say anything about the first couple games. This will be like a week-to-week thing where week-to-week will be like, do they underperform or did they perform or underperform? How'd they do? Where are their stats at now? All that good stuff. So IKF, I'm going to say, performed. Third base, Josh Donaldson. I'm going to say underperformed a little bit, even though he's starting to hit his stride, a little bit above average in the WRC+. We're expecting him to be an elite hitter for us, a really good hitter for us, and play really good defense, which granted, he has done that. But I'm going to say underperformed by a little bit. Next up, Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton, man. I'm going to say underperformed. Last time I checked, his WRC+ isn't even average. Yeah, I don't think he will be. He's underperformed. I mean, I think he underperformed. I may be wrong, but, we'll see if the stats say anything else later on. Left field, Joey Gallo. Underperformed a little bit. One of these dudes that was starting to hit a stride, got injured. I don't know the severity of it, but he got injured, so I'm going to say underperformed for now. His stats are not to par of what I would like from Joey Gallo. Center field, Aaron Hicks. I feel like he's performed. Kind of fell off a little bit from what he was doing beginning of the year, but I feel like he's still having a solid year. Right field, Aaron Judge. Performed on an MVP level, I might add, so far. He has been nothing but great. All right. Now, for starting pitching. Garrett Cole. I'm going to say underperformed a little bit. Not to par of what we expect from Garrett Cole through 1 month. Number 2 starter, Luis Severino. I'm going to say performed. I mean, it's been a little shaky. He's looked great some starts. He's looked meh some starts. He's looked bad some starts, He always has the stuff. I like that he has a 4-pitch mix now. And I'm excited for Luis Severino, but I'm going to lean performed. Because our expectations were a little tampered for Luis Severino. Number 3 starter, Jordan Montgomery. He's performed. His ERA is right where I would like it to be. Even lower than I would like it to be. And that's a great sign. He's not getting enough run support. He's always on the short end of the stick, facing good teams with good pitching, and it's close games, and it's not as much runs are scored. And he's kind of gets on the short end of the stick in terms of that department. But you can always rely on him in an important game to keep you in the game like 80% of the time at least, which is what a 3 starters should do. Not dominate, but keep you in the game and keep it competitive. The number 4 starter, Jameson Taillon. This is not who I think is the best. This is who they had in line 1 through 5. Jameson Taillon. This one's like in the middle one. I'm gonna say underperformed. I mean, it may just be I'm not that big of a fan of Jameson. It may be that. But I'm just gonna say underperformed. And the 5 starter, Nestor Cortez Jr., our best starting pitcher so far through 5 starts. He has performed greatly. There's no discussion to be had with that. And everyone has performed in the bullpen so far. So now, we get the stat sheet. Higgy has a 18 WRC plus. 18. It's safe to say that he's underperformed. I'm not going to look at Trevino because we know his offense isn't there, but his defense just took me by surprise. I knew he was a good defender, but the way he's going at it, it's very impressive. It makes you think, like, how important he is to this team. Rizzo, no surprise, at a 195 WRC plus. So it's safe to say that he has performed big time on to second base. DJ LeMahieu is at a 142 WRC plus. By the way, Fangraphs. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but yeah. It may be backwards, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. Gleyber Torres is at a 110 WRC plus. That is a lot better than I thought it was. So I'm going to change my answer to underperformed, just performed. Performed enough. I'd say just performed enough. IKF has a 115 WRC plus. And we know how great his defense is compared to other shortstops in the past. So he has performed definitely. Not a question in my mind that he has performed. Josh Donaldson has a 116 WRC plus, which I'm still going to lean that he's underperforming because I'm expecting Josh Donaldson to be a 125, 130 WRC plus guy. So that's just a little bit of an underperform. Like, it's not that bad, but like I said, we need more from him. Stanton at a 100 WRC plus. At 100 WRC plus for Giancarlo Stanton, that's a heavy underperform, and we need a lot better from Giancarlo Stanton if we want to go to where we need to go. Joey Gallo is at a 76 WRC plus. That is bad. That is pretty damn bad. We need Joey Gallo to be at a 125 to a 130 WRC plus guy. And if he isn't that, then I'm not liking what we're looking at here with Joey. Aaron Hicks is at a 113 WRC plus, which I'm going to say performed, just slightly performed, because we expect him to be around a 115 WRC plus guy. So, we'll take the numbers. He's been productive. That's all we ask about Hicks, is be a productive center fielder for us. And that's what he's been. So am I mad about it? No, not really. Yeah, he's performed. Aaron Judge has performed heavily with a 196 WRC plus. 1% above Anthony Rizzo. That's when you know it's really, really, really good. Aaron Judge has heavily performed thus far. Now we go to starting pitching. Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is around a 4 ERA, which is about league average. And for Garrett Cole, he's supposed to be our ace. Lately, he's looked a lot better, but through all the starts, that's not good enough. That's not going to cut it for Garrett Cole. That ain't going to cut it for us here. Sevy at a 3.75 ERA. Before that, before the Royals started, he's probably at a 3.2, 3.3. So I'm going to say performed. We slightly performed. We had tampered expectations from Luis Severino. So that's the big difference from the two, in my humble opinion. Jordan Montgomery, the best ERA so far, 2.88. It hasn't seemed like Jordan has pitched this well, but he definitely has, because it just doesn't seem like that because he never gets damn run support. Jordan Montgomery has damn performed. That is a lock. Jameson Taillon is at a 3.26 ERA. So maybe I'm just a hater of JMO. Who knows? That is performing. Heavily performing. No doubt about it. Heavily performed. Jameson Taillon. I was completely off base with my gut feeling. Completely off base. Jameson Taillon heavily performed. Nestor Cortez Jr. has a 1.31 ERA. That is elite ERA. Elite. Great start by Nestor. Great start. Has performed as the best starting pitcher on this staff. And on to the bullpen. For a bullpen, it's pretty self-explanatory. We have the second best bullpen ERA. Our bullpen has been elite, and that's what we thought it was going to be going to the year. So it has nicely performed perfectly well for the New York Yankees. That is my underperformed, performed, and heavily performed video for the New York Yankees, how they currently shape out. Now this changes game after game, so I don't do this day to day. I do it I'm probably going to be doing this once a week, where I go off what they're looking like. Are they still going the way they were going? All that shit. It's probably a start through for a pitcher, for the starters. So it's probably a little bit different for the starters. But this is the video for underperformed or performed so far in the 2022 New York Yankees season, which the Yankees have performed in general. So let's go Yankees. My next video will be later today, going over the Yankee lineup, which will probably be a YouTube short. I will see you guys next time. Go Yankees.